This is AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm at the Royal Albert Hall. For today's press conference, delighted to be joined by Frank Warren. How are you, Frank?
Excellent. How are you?
Very well. All the better for seeing you. Strong bill on Friday, March the 8th. Obviously, Daniel Dubois in with Kajanu. Always going to be comparisons between Daniel and Nathan Gorman, aren't there?
There certainly are, and maybe this is a fight where you can get some, where people can gauge that. But the fact of the matter is, it's a good fight for Daniel. It was a fight he's supposed to have before he came down with flu, and then obviously the guy went and fought Nathan. But before that, as we all know, a couple of fights previous to that, he'd gone the distance with Parker. So at this stage of his career, for his 10th fight, I think it's a good opponent for him.
As you say, he went the distance with Joseph Parker, distance with Nathan Gorman. If Daniel can stop him, what does that sort of say?
Well, it's a bit of a statement if he stops him. But I don't want him to go out there throwing bombs. I want him to go out there and box him and learn from that last fight against Kevin Johnson. These are important fights for him. These are rounds in the bank. These are learning fights. This is where he should be. And I'm quite sure this is going to stand him in good stead for the future. He comes through it.
If all is well for Daniel on the night, can we see him with Nathan Gorman at the end of the year potentially?
It could, it's a great possibility of that happening if they provide and they keep winning. The thing about that fight is, provided they keep winning, they're going to get more known by the public, the general public, which means that it'll increase their earning capacity. So when they do get it on, it'll be a big fight.
Let's talk about Liam Williams. He said in a press conference that he might move back down to 154. What do you make of that?
Well, he says he can do it, and I'm quite sure he can. But let's focus on this one, and after that, providing he comes through, or Joe may upset the odds. So who knows what's going to happen with that fight? But then we'll make that decision afterwards. What
did you make of Joe Mullen at the press conference today? Bit of a weird attitude.
He's a fantastic fella. I mean, I think when he said his wife's got a better jab than him, what he's saying is it's how he fights. He comes, he stands in front, and he'll come and have a tear up with you. That's what he wants, and that's what he's going to do with Liam. He's going to try and get him into that type of fight.
But of course, Liam, the favourite, so impressive against Mark Efron last time out.
He certainly was. Mark just didn't get into the fight. He managed to negate everything that Mark had and won the fight in good style.
Just lastly on this bill, why are you coming back to Royal Albert Hall? What made that decision?
Well, we were approached as if we want to put the fights back on here, and I was absolutely delighted that was the case, and we moved heaven and earth to make it happen and bring some fights here. I came here as a kid watching my cousin fight in the 60s, so it's a fantastic venue, a brilliant venue for fights, and I'm delighted, and certainly with Nicola challenging for the world title on International Women's Day is going to be a great night.
Is that why you did it?
That's why we did it.
Okay, moving on from this bill. Last time I spoke to you, we mentioned about Josh Warrington and Kid Galahad, said the purse bids had been extended. Can you sort of comment on why that happened?
They didn't happen because the IBF put it out that the purse would be split 65-35 in favour of the champion, and it had always been 75-25, and we objected to that. So they're considering it, and no doubt they'll come back to us.
Did they give a reason to sort of why they did that?
No, we just got a circular come through.
We saw Tyson Fury in a photo shoot yesterday. What was it? What magazine was it for?
He's doing a photo shoot for GQ.
Yeah. Obviously, off the back of that Wilder fight, been so much publicity, etc., about Tyson, and rightly so. What do you sort of make of his profile now in the UK and in America?
Well, look, in America, he's got a much higher profile than Anthony Joshua, that's for sure. There's no doubt about that, especially after his last fight. They got good pay-per-view numbers, and he's extremely well known. I mean, when you get people, even at the press conference after the fight, when he's singing American Pie, and you've got the Mr. McLean, the guy who wrote it, tweeting it out to all these people. That's where he's at now. He's a really well-known guy. And as far as Britain's concerned, I think he's overtaken Anthony Joshua as far as the public concerned. He went out there and fought the guy, an undefeated fighter, the biggest puncher in heavyweight boxing in recent years. He went over there and fought him, like he went to Germany to fight Klitschko. That's what he did.
Wilder's come out and said within 2 weeks we can expect an announcement. Is that sort of the time frame you're looking at as well?
Well, I'd like it. I wish we could announce it today, but let's hope that's going to be the case. We're all working hard to try and make that happen.
But it seems like there's a lot of progress in terms of that rematch.
Well, we're moving towards it, so all keep our fingers crossed.
Talking about Joshua, we still don't have an announcement yet. What do you make of that, and especially with the whole situation with Dylan White as well?
Well, you know, they've got all these millions from the zone. They're going to have to put their hands in their pocket and pay for an opponent. That's really what it's about, isn't it? It's as simple as that. You know, Dylan said he got a derisory offer, and well, they said there was talking to Gerald Miller. I think his management come out at the time and said no negotiations are taking place. I think they're all talking now, and obviously in due course, Anthony will get will get an opponent, and where it's going to be, I've got no idea. He must be looking at that $80 million offer that he was made, 50 to fight Wilder and then 30 for a rematch. Looking at that now, I'm thinking, why didn't I take that?
Obviously, if Wilder Fury does go to purse bids, you guys want to reach a deal. But if it does go to purse bids, Eddie Hearn has come out and said that he'll bid for it, etc. And he's obviously got this whole thing with Joshua and White to sort out. What do you sort of make of that, him commenting on Wilder Fury?
Oh, if I was him, I'd worry about sorting his own man out. And I think if I was Anthony Joshua, I'd say, don't worry about them. What are you going to do for me?
Fair enough, Frank. Yeah, we touched upon Billy Joe last time as well. Obviously, said mandated for Andrade's belt. Do you reckon that'll go to purse bid?
I don't know. We're talking at the moment. It didn't last time, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. If it goes to purse bids, we'll bid for it. Simple as that.
But if a deal can be reached, hopefully MTK can do what they did last time and play a role in that as well.
Maybe that might be the case. We'll see what happens. But at the moment, we're in negotiation. We're in sort of preliminary negotiations, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, Frank, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, all good. Just wishing a belated Happy New Year to everybody. And more importantly, let's get some really good fights on and give the fans what they want.
Sounds good. Frank Warren, thank you very much for coming to IFL TV.